Alright, 47% complete here on this bonus series, Lamborghini Legends. Of course, you'll find this in the Legends section of the Road Collection. And the 50% completion is going to be worth 13 gold, so should be just one more gold trophy. Let's find out. We'll do the speed snap. And yes, features the 3 classic Lambos. We got the Miura, we got the Countach, in my case it's the Van Halen Countach, and Diablo SV. For this one, let's take a Countach for a spin. Why not? It's gonna be speed snap at Club Circuit of COTA, Circuit of the Americas. Alright, and looks like the record was set by Diablo, so can Countach compete? I guess we'll find out, depending on how many upgrades they had on the Diablo. 223. Alright, I'm not going to be able to take this. Set up corners flat out, so slow down entering into the corner. And yes, we got enough to get through that one without too much trouble. And the friends icon or the avatars back when they're showing, because that was gone for last few updates. So it's nice to see everybody again. Alright. And do we get 50% completion for that one? And no, we are at 49%. Look at that. So we need one more trophy. I guess we'll do the endurance, and it's gonna be at Dubai Club, so we'll just take the Countach again. Let's find out what kind of distance I need to hit. 14.3 kilometers, and that's all set by TSM Friends, as you can see from the orange colored opponent names. Always enjoy watching the load-in screen from these endurance events, especially here at Dubai. The twilight lighting is so dramatic, very picturesque. Alright, so to hit 14 kilometers and change, would I need to manage the clock? Let's see if we can just run straight through and see if that would be good enough. And Dubai Club, I do enjoy this circuit. It's a lot of fun. All these corners. Even in Countach, which I gotta say, handling of this car in the game isn't the best, but you know what? I always have a soft spot for Countach. Anyway, in the current version, I believe, the 8.3, they've included the special event Retro Rivals featuring this car. So if you don't already own this car, that is a nice, easy way to earn this car for free. You should be able to win it without spending any. Certainly no gold upgrades are necessary if you play your cards right. By that I mean do some bot training. Don't win by huge margin throughout the event. It's one of the older events, so you know, bots do adjust their behavior depending on how competitive you decide to be. So if you're blowing everybody out of the water from the very beginning just because they're such simple, easy challenges, then towards the end of the event, you might find yourself up against impossible challenges, like impossible bots that are going to be a little bit trickier to compete against, certainly to accomplish certain goals. So, anyway, let's see. 6.6 kilometers. Alright. And what was the target again? 14 and change, right? So somewhere we're near the halfway point. I think slightly under maybe. Ugh. So slippery. Alright, lap 4, we are at just under 8 km mark, now over 8. That was very indecisive braking and you end up paying for it. This is not the time to make those mistakes. When you're this far into... Alright, I may have made just a couple of too many fatal mistakes here. Alright. So I have to be a little bit more cautious with my gas. Don't be too cavalier. Alright. Get some 12-second lap bonus, but I don't think that's going to be enough to get me to cover the distance. It's because I don't think I'll be able to catch up. Alright, yeah, that's a pretty dismal effort, and that some major mistakes in the last 2 laps definitely, I think, costed me this one. Not even reaching the 4th place. That is awful. 5th place. Ugh. Alright. Still managed to beat 3 TSM friends. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of... Well, actually, first place is Diablo SV, but the 2nd and 3rd place, Countach. So I should be able to keep up. Well, what do you know? Let's give it another go. Oh, they made a adjustment. Brought it down to 11.7 kilometers. The insult, right? The bot telling you maybe the target that I gave you was a little too hard for your skill level. I'll show you. Let's find out. I'm still gonna try to hit 14 and change, but this time I'll have to be a little bit more careful with my braking points and throughout, not losing focus till the end, right? Because I got sloppy. There's really no other way to put it. Earlier, like this part, you know, is where you're actually allowed to make some mistakes, but where I made mistakes in the last attempt, it's probably the spot that you really should not be making any mistakes, like going way off track because you missed the braking point. Those are detrimental, as we've all witnessed in my last attempt. Like 2 corners, like this one I missed, which is one of those detrimental sections because it leads into this main pit straight, as I missed there again. And then of course at the end of this long straight is another very crucial corner where if you miss it, you overshoot the corner and end up way off track. So the two most important parts that you should not go off track, I totally miscalculated and made a monumental mistake. Like this section, obviously if you cut a little bit of corners, it can actually help you go faster, so those are not as bad. But one at the beginning of the pit straight and one at the end of the pit straight, those are by far the two most crucial corners that you don't want to mess up. So no, not all mistakes are made equal. Some are gonna have greater impact than others, like the ones that I made in the last attempt. So let's see if we can minimize that this time. And ooh, didn't even skid through that corner one. Alright, so this one already but even like this corner, if you miss it, next section you can make up because it's not like leading into a very high speed section. So that mistake is easily made up for. You don't lose as much time or the speed. You have to slow down anyway, you know what I mean? But this one, if you miss this one, that is really, really bad. So gotta work on making sure that you really nail these corners at the beginning and at the end of the pit straight. Still, but this time at least I didn't go completely off track out on an excursion, so that helps. There we go, corner to corner. Racing the full track. Alright, and we got a couple of cars to overtake, which comes in very handy about now. So I'm hitting just about 10-kilometer mark. Yes. I'm getting greedy, trying to carry more speed, and when you miss it, it backfires, right? You end up carrying far less speed than you would have if you didn't bother. A little bit of corner cutting there. All right, at least I have more or less secured the gold trophy in this one, but as I said, could we get 14 if I overtake this guy and get a lap bonus? That would extend my run for another kilometer or two, maybe. Lap 6. We're heading into a corner while we're timer's running out, so I don't think we'll quite make it to 14, but at least we've gotten the gold trophy. Any trophy would have probably been good enough for that 50% completion, since I was at 49% complete. But you know what? I will take it. Pick up a few racing dollars for the effort. And beat the remaining 4 friends in this one, although one was replaced. The fastest one, of course. Yes. Podium finish for Countach. There we go. followed by Diablos, and no Miura to be found here. Alright, so it takes out nearly all of my service bars, but does leave me enough for me to tackle, I think, the next one. But it does unlock another new tier, and there it is, 50% complete for 13 extra gold. So we'll pick that up. Thank you very much. And next 75% completion will pay out 18 more gold, so that'll be the next big landmark in this series. But since I have a few more service bars, let's tackle this cup at Daytona and wrap up this tier 11. It's gonna be Daytona road course. PR 25.4 is required, and of course when your Countach is fully upgraded, you got plenty of PR to go here. And looks like how many? 16 cars in this grid. Rolling start, as I mentioned. And what a beautiful setup. Liveries. Climbing up the ranks, and these since the update, I feel like bots are super slow. And let's try some different playing modes in Countach. Good view. Let's check out from the cockpit view. Not too bad. I love the little detail of the stereo system. Stereo cassette deck from none other than Alpine, I think, supplied the deck for the Countach back in the day. So nice touch there, pretty cool. And I think the rear view from the game is significantly better than in real life, because everybody complains about the rear view of the being super narrow and difficult to see in the real life Countach. So this one, I think, compared to some other cars in the game, namely the likes of Ford GT, those guys have a terrible cockpit view. Well, I wouldn't say terrible cockpit view, it's just very difficult to look out of the car because it's so narrow. You know, Daytona's not too bad, but you know, any circuit with any minor variation in altitude, let's say, so when you have to go up and down a hill a little bit, even like places like Suzuka, there isn't it's fairly flat circuit, but you know, at times when you're heading back from the far end of that figure 8, right at Suzuka, and coming up around the bridge after that big parabolica turn, you know, you cannot really see all that far up ahead because all you see is just the pavement, you know. So those cars make it very difficult, and don't even, you know, like Think about Mount Panorama or Spa. Those tracks, oh, so difficult to race in cockpit view in those cars. But this one, I say, is not as bad. As we finish first. Alright, and relatively clean lap too, so looks like we had a few flag bots thrown in the mix as well in this one, so interesting. Yes, Sparks and Oddly, those are flag bots, of course. And lots of Diablo SVs. And yeah, no Miura. There was, I guess, one Miura. But anyway, pretty cool. Let's put the car in red. So, and I've accomplished what I came here to accomplish, which was just completing that 50% completion. So we'll put the car in for service. Takes just 5 minutes less than the most cars these days, which takes 3 hours. This one 2 hours 55 minutes. I don't think if you are trying to watch ads to get the service done right away, I think it takes just as many ads. Anyway, that does it for the 50%, or in this case 52% completion of Lamborghini Legends by completing 11 tiers out of 20 available here. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and yeah, take care.